Got Corporation, and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody, and welcome inside a Wednesday edition of Running Point, the last episode before the holidays. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartel. We're going to finish strong and get ready for Christmas. Got a good show for you today. Wrestling Wednesdays with Gary Allsizer will be at 1:30 today, still happening. He just had to push it back a little bit. We definitely are accommodating to his busy schedule. We also have the recaps from today, last night's action, some post-game interviews. Anthony Romo was able to catch up with Springfield, and I was able to catch up with the Poland girl. Excuse me. Ooh, not finishing strong yet. not finishing strong yet. I was able to catch up with the Poland girls, and there's a lot more fun to recap as well. And then, Ty, we have picks, and what do you want to do? Because there's tonight's games, tomorrow's games, games on Monday, games on Tuesday.
Well, let's get through the recaps first, and then
let's just walk before we run, right? I mean, we got to pick everything. We can't leave games unpicked. As we look into the recaps, let's start with maybe the biggest game of the night, and it happened on the girls' side. Number 1, Canfield in the power rankings versus number 5, Poland. And Ty, it was a game that I think you tuned in for a little bit here and there before yours. Back and forth all night, tug of war like you would expect a rivalry to be. Poland came out on top, 52-50. They were down by 10 3 different times in this game, never went away, and Canfield couldn't shut the door.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to say any kind of spoiler or anything, and I don't want to think that something's going to happen that's not, but I think this is going to go a long way to knocking Canfield out of that number 1 spot, though, in the power rankings, because losing to another ranked opponent, it's going to do a lot, though, too, for Poland, you would think, climbing those rankings, too, beating one of the few teams that were considered, quote-unquote, better than them going into this week.
This is why the power rankings get interesting as the season goes on, because now, first couple of weeks, you could use kind of head-to-head because, hey, West Branch beat Poland. They should be ahead of Poland. Everything's fine. But now it gets kind of murky because West Branch beat Poland. Poland beat Canfield, and Canfield destroyed West Branch. So how do you judge those 3 teams? Because they've all beaten each other.
Recency has to be into a factor, and currency as well, and what just happened the most recent. So, I mean, it's going to be very rare unless a team like what we saw in what Struthers last year with the boys' side, or McDonald and the girls' side, where like a team is just straight dominating everyone. Very rarely, I think you're going to see many teams hold that number 1 spot for a long time this season, at least. I don't think you're going to see many teams hold a number 1 spot for many consecutive weeks this season because it's just going to be so competitive. And we have a lot of good teams on both sides of the ball, both boys and girls.
How about this? It was one of the craziest plays I'd ever seen. It was a fluke play, but then it was a really good heads up and confident play at the same time. So Poland has the ball. They're down 47-38. So they're down by 9. It's like midway through the third, maybe closer to the end of the third, somewhere around there. Morgan Kluchar drives in the lane, goes up for the shot. Alyssa Dill, who I think is one of the best shot blockers in the area, by the way, because she knows how to cleanly block the ball. Only 2 fouls all of last night, and she had at least 3 blocks, maybe more. But she comes up, she swats the ball out of Kluchar's hand, like hard volleyball spike, but it goes right to Mary Brandt like it was a perfect pass, and she steps into a 3 like this without even hesitating, drills it. Poland cuts the lead to 47-41, and it seemed like from that point, Poland had all the momentum in the world. And you can see from that point, Canfield only scored 3 points, and Poland scored 11.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, if they went up, yeah, well, no, it would be 14-3 run to win it. I mean,
14-3 run if you count the 3 that Brandt hit.
Yeah, so it's a 14-3 run from that point, going down, being down 38-47, and able to go on a 14-3 run. That's a lot of kudos to the defense of Poland being able to lock it down on one side, and that's the mark of a winning team, able to close games out like that and able to complete comebacks. Good win for the Bulldogs, though.
This game was destined for overtime all night. It just, I felt like all night I kept turning to people. I was like, because it just, and it had a chance to get tied up late. McElroy was on the free throw line. It was 51-49. She hit one, and I always think the first one's the hardest to hit in that situation. Hit the first, missed the second, and then Poland hit a free throw a little bit later to make it 52-50, and that would be the end of the game. But man, it was a great game, and I had a chance to catch up with head coach Nick Blanche after the game. Let's hear what he had to say in his last post-game press conference before the holiday break. Anthony Hartwig here with tonight's winning coach Nick Blanche after Poland's 52-50 win over Canfield. Coach, this was just a guts-out battle between 2 really good teams, much like what we saw from you last week against South Range. What did it take to come out on top of this one?
I really don't know. I don't have an answer for that. It was just 2 very good programs going at each other. We like to think of ourselves as a solid program, and we know Canfield is a solid program. So to be able to play as hard as we did, and they never gave up either. They went up, down. We took the lead. They kept coming back. And we just made each other better tonight. Both teams got better off of this game. They're going to learn from it. They're going to be better because of it. And even though we won, we still have some things to learn from this game. We were just fortunate to come off the winning side. But even if we would have lost this game tonight, I was extremely proud of my kids, my coaches. Everybody just kept doing their part. I mean, the kids kept cheering. Everybody did what they had to on the bench. Everybody kept playing when they were on the floor. Coaches kept coaching. I have nothing but positives, and I'm very grateful to be a part of this program.
There were several times Canfield led by 10 in this game, several times where your team had opportunities to just pack it in and call it a day. How proud are you as a coach that every time Canfield made it look like they were going to run away with this game, you guys put together a run to just stay in it, and then eventually were able to take that lead late?
That's what I love most about this team, to be honest with you. We don't have superstars. And a lot of people have written us off at the beginning of the year and didn't give us much thought because, we don't have that big, sexy name, as I like to say. But we have a lot of good, hardworking kids in this program. And hard work pays off. And like I said, you don't have to have that superstar to be good. We've been fortunate to have a lot of good talent over the year, but we just have good talent as a team this year. I mean, we're more team-oriented probably than we have been in the last several years, where we don't have to rely on one person. It could be anybody's night. And tonight, there were several times. I could list 5 or 6 different girls that did big things throughout the night. It's not headline material, but as far as this game going our way, it was big time. And that's what I like to keep the girls on. Just remember, we need each other. We don't need one person. And I'm just very grateful for their effort, and just kind of frazzled right now. I mean, it was just an emotional game, up and down, left and right. And the kids, no matter what, they just kept battling. And I could not be more proud and thankful for them.
Real quick, talk about the play that maybe turned around this game. The ball gets blocked right out to Mary Brandt. She doesn't miss a beat, takes a shot as soon as she catches it and drills the 3 to make it a 6-point game. And you guys really had momentum after that. I mean, I know part of that's a fluke play, but part of it is Mary's ability to just take the opportunity and not hesitate at all, take the shot and put it down.
Yeah, having that confidence, that's a big moment in the game. And she could have very easily caught that ball and pulled it back and set up an offense. But she knew, hey, we needed it. She has the ability to, and she always has the green light. I don't hold any of these kids back. I mean, if you have a good shot and in your range, take it. And she didn't hesitate. Like you said, she got the ball, and while the defense was adjusting, she pulled up, banged it, and then we just went from there. But I mean, again, it takes everybody. I mean, who knows who could have been standing there? And I'm just very proud of her for having the confidence in herself to pull the trigger, because you never know. I mean, she's still young. Everybody, looks at different girls. It's just easy for them. Oh, Mary's a good athlete. That's okay. She is a good athlete. But by the same token, she's still a sophomore, and she's still learning the game and trying to get confident within herself in those big moments. And she did a really good job today throughout the game, not just that moment. But again, congratulations to her for being aware of that. And again, just one of many plays tonight that helped us.
One player I want to make sure gets talked about, because maybe not one that showed up big in the stat sheet, but Katie McDonald just really did a lot for you inside, made Canfield work so hard in the paint. Talk about what her growth has been this year and what you saw from her tonight against the Canfield team that really has a lot of tall players that can give people problems.
Katie's the X factor. I'm so proud of that kid. I'm proud of all these kids, but it hasn't been an easy road for Katie. I mean, this is an up-tempo team. We like to go, and Katie's like me. I mean, we're not fleet of foot, and she continues to work. She stays after practice. She gets out here before practice. She always is continually wanting to get better. I can never get mad at that. I mean, yeah, it's frustrating for her at times, and it's frustrating for me if you miss that one. You're like, ooh, I wish you would have had that. I get it. It's normal. But her drive to be great is just awesome. And honestly, I wish you could see the amount of time she puts in on the Vertimax, staying after, working on free throws. Her free throws, she'd be lucky to make 3 out of 10 at the beginning of this year. And now she's just constantly been working on that, and it's getting better. She missed some tonight, but that's all right. Again, you're not going to make them all, and I keep telling her that, but it's better than where we started. And that's all we try and do here. Just get a little bit better each day. But I cannot express to you in words how I'm proud I am of Katie, because down the stretch, she made big plays. And again, it wasn't the best first half for her, but she kept grinding, kept believing, and she had some really big plays and rebounds for us down the stretch. And her presence defensively, nobody can simulate that in practice. You don't have a Katie McDonald at practice. So again, she does a lot of good things for us. Not headline material, but I don't care about the headlines. Headlines are for selfish people. We don't need selfish people here.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Merry Christmas. We'll see you again back here on the 27th against Boardman.
Merry Christmas, and as always, thank you for the coverage.
That was head coach Nick Blanche after Poland's big 52-50 win over Canfield, and we had a lot to talk about in that conversation. There was different plays that made this game, different players that stepped up big. I wanted to make sure that Katie McDonald got talked about, and I told him that after the interview was over. I was like, I feel like she's one of those girls that goes under the radar. You've seen Poland play. I just wanted to make sure that someone asked him about Katie McDonald's effort that night, because I do think it was the X factor. I think he's absolutely right. She was an X factor in that game.
I mean, she has the height down low, and I mean, you have to respect her in low post, offensively, defensively. I mean, shot blocking threat, rebounding threat, low post threat. I mean, either way, when you have someone that is just outmatching you in every department down low, you got to put a girl on her. There's no case of leaving her off of your game plan defensively. You have to have someone on her respecting her.
She did not finish every shot down low, and I'm sure she would love to, but the looks that she was getting were so easy that Canfield could not take someone off her just because she wasn't finishing. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, even if you aren't getting the shots to fall, the fact that they're getting it to you so easily and they're able to get you really good looks down low, it makes the defense respect it.
Absolutely. And I mean, she's starting to gain the ability to create her own shot. And once that happens, I mean, she can become a very versatile threat for this Poland offense. And as it goes along, come tournament time, if she starts adding those tools to her tool belt, watch out for this Poland offense, because it's going to get a little bit more dynamic.
I don't know what Coach Blanche is talking about either. He's very fleet of foot. I saw him run off the bench when they won. He can move. I don't know. I think he's selling himself short.
Yeah, probably. He probably is. Good win for him, though, and good win for Poland as that battle of 224 goes the Lady Bulldogs' way this time.
By the way, that's one for me. I won tonight.
By 2 points.
Anthony's back up top.
By 2 points.
By 4, by the way. I'm up by 4.
Yep. Yeah, you got a couple on me, and all of them came down to literally 2 points or less. I'm pissed.
Hey, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, Ty. I also had a chance to speak with the player of the game last night, Connie Kugris. Let's hear what she had to say after Poland's big win over Canfield before we move on. Anthony Hartwig here with tonight's Bird Brothers player of the game, Connie Kugris, 17 points in the 52-50 win over Canfield. Whoa, Connie, what a battle this game was. What's it feel like to come out on top of it?
Thank you. It's really exciting. It feels really good. It's definitely a big win for us. Canfield's always going to be a good game no matter what sport it is. The Poland-Canfield rivalry is really something special. And, going into the Christmas break, we wanted to have that good feeling on our minds with those few days off. And I'm really proud of how we played tonight. Played really hard.
This was a game where 3 separate times you guys were down 10. You never stopped fighting. What were some of the conversations that you guys had in timeouts to yourselves on the court to just keep in this game every time it looked like the Cardinals were going to take away with it?
Yeah, we just wanted to keep our composure and keep up our energy. I thought we had a fantastic defensive effort and we kept the energy going the whole time. We knew later in the stretch we were going to get more shots to fall. We just wanted to keep ourselves composed and keep playing really hard.
Usually for you it's the 3, but tonight you were really aggressive with the drives, getting to the foul line. Was that part of the game plan, or is that just something that you've tried to grow in this season?
That's just something I've been trying to work on a lot, is getting into the hoop. I wasn't really too happy with a lot of my attempts at the line, but at least getting there's one thing, and the one at the end at least was able to count. But yeah, we played really hard overall, and when you have 5 girls connecting that hard, it was a really good game. I'm really proud of us.
You stepped into a leadership role this year. In a game like this, what's it mean to you that you can step up for your team and be a leader and make the shots that they needed to make, and then make the passes they needed to make all the plays they needed to make, really?
It means a lot, finally being up here, being a senior, just trying to do my best to lead by example and just get the energy going so it flows through the whole team. And I think that worked really well tonight, so I'm really proud of us for that.
So obviously this is a good Christmas present as we're
yes,
close to
it
the
was
holidays.
very much.
What else is on your Christmas list before we let you go?
I don't have anything big, just nothing too special.
Connie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Congratulations
you so
on the
much.
win.
Thank you.
I wonder if mom and dad also agree that she had nothing big or special on the Christmas list.
Yeah, we'll see. I thought you getting harassed a little bit by Kugris on Facebook.
He was spreading some rumors about me that I was picking Canfield, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! I am proud that I
thought you did pick Canfield yesterday."
No. You're not taking that lead back from me.
We'll see. It's not that bad. It was a little risk, a lot of reward. So I'm only down by 4. It's not that bad.
I was the whole game though. I was like,
me too with mine. Mitch had the ball 7.1 seconds. Just missed the 3. Just missed the offensive boarded shot. Heartbreaker. They're going to figure it out, though. I think they will. They got a great team. They were competitive.
That's a really good McDowell team that they lost to by this much. I mean,
they've been competitive in every single game they've been in this year. They just need to learn how to finish games. But guys like Deshaun Vaughn Jr., when you got a guy like that, that's, I believe, just a sophomore, it's pretty impressive to see what such a young roster has been able to do.
Before we continue to talk about that game, let's move on to Springfield. They got the 58-54 win over the Rockets in Louisville. A big win in the MVAC. Springfield starts the season with 4 straight. They're 4-0. And Anthony Romo had a chance to catch up with head coach Jeff Brink and Adam Wary after the game to hear what they had to say. So let's hear the Springfield post-game press conference from Jeff Brink and Adam Wary.
Anthony Romo here with head coach Jeff Brink of the Springfield Tigers after their 58-54 victory over Lowville tonight. Coach, a very close, hard-fought game between both teams. Just what did it take for your team at the end of the game to come out on top?
I mean, that's definitely a senior gut check. I mean, they're coming off of some great wins. I mean, they've had a great start to the season. Win over Camel the other day. They got win over Girard. And they got some quality wins. A very good Southeast team. So they're playing really good basketball. We knew it was going to be a dogfight coming in on the road. And for us, it's been something where we're just working on trying to get some things in, and for our kids to come out on the road and beat a very good team. I'm just so proud of them. I think our seniors really stepped up, and you could really see some senior leadership. I mean, Bo Brungard, Adam Wary, Alex, and Jake Joyce, just phenomenal. My guy, Sean Guerrero, has been thrust into the starting lineup with an injury to Shondell Gardner. He's been awesome. Just a great defensive effort, knocking down that crucial one-on-one front end to help get some separation. And Brandon Price gave us some really good minutes off the bench, too. I thought that was a key. And we got a little foul trouble there for brief in the second quarter.
You had Wary with 22 points tonight, Brungard with 11, Rothwell with 10. Just talk about how good you guys really can be when your offense is as balanced as it was tonight.
Right now, we got 4 guys averaging double digits, so it's been pretty balanced, and I think that's one thing that makes us dangerous. I mean, it was a tough win. I mean, when you give up 10, 12 threes, the way they shot the ball tonight, you don't win many games when teams shoot as well as they did. I mean, it's tough to overcome that many threes and still find a way to get a win. And I just can't give our kids enough credit. It's been a pleasure being home. It's been a great experience to work with these guys, and I'm just look forward every day to getting back into the lab and getting back to work.
How crucial was this win tonight early on in the season against a very good Lowville team?
Like I said, they're a great team. I mean, I think people who don't know area basketball don't know how good that they are. We have a lot of respect for them. Obviously, our kids do. The kids know from the previous season they've grown up seeing these guys. That's a great junior class. We knew it was going to be a tough one. But I think that's when you like to get that first one because that second time around is going to be another. It's going to be another war.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, you're welcome.
Anthony Romo here with Adam Wary, tonight's YSN Player of the Game after Springfield's 58-54 victory over Lowville tonight. Adam, game's leading scorer with 22 points. You got hot there for a little bit. Just talk about what's going through your head when all your shots are falling.
I just felt great. I just knew to get the ball. And if I was open shooting, that's what I was doing. We were struggling at first, and then when we started getting a groove, I started making shots that led for everyone else to make shots, and it just was clicking from both ends.
What was Lowville doing so well tonight that had you guys a little bit stagnant throughout the game? You have won some spurts where you weren't knocking shots down.
They made their shots. They made a lot of threes. I think Coach said 10 for 25, which is great for them. They were playing tough defense. They were a lot physical than some of us thought they were going to be. And they came out and fought really hard. And we did the same.
Just talk about how big this win is early on in the season over a conference opponent.
It's huge because there's only some teams at the top of the league this year, and they're one of us. They're one of them, and it was good to get the win there, and hopefully carry that on and keep going.
Adam Wary, tonight's YSN Player of the Game.
So now that we got to hear from a couple of Springfield representatives, let's talk about this game, what it means in the scheme of things and in the scope of the MVAC. Ty, I mean, this was a game I think everyone was looking forward to after that start for Springfield, 3-0. Okay, can they go improve it now against this really quality team inside their conference? And Tigers up to the task.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tigers proving why they should be on those power rankings. And this might hurt Lowville in the grand scheme of things, who just made their appearance on the power rankings. Going to see how.
I have a feeling they'll be back. It's early.
Yes, for sure. Still a great game for the Rockets in this one. Still very competitive against a good Springfield team. And MVAC still going to be tough, too. So it's going to be interesting in the Scarlet side for sure.
And the stats that Coach Brink sent in, Louisville 12 3-pointers on the night. Anthony Lucente led them with 12 points, and I think there was one other player in double. I want to get the story so I know I'm right here. It was – by the way, all the stories and recaps you can find on ysnlive.com. Plug while I look up the story that I wrote about 30 minutes ago. It's crazy how quick these names just go whoop, right out the window. For Malone. Vinny Malone had 12 for them. So Lucente with 15, Vinny Malone with 12. Adam Wary led the Tigers with 22 points, 4 assists. Bo Brungard had 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. So solid night for the Tigers. They get the win. And they're 4-0. They're 4 straight wins to open the season. It was a late start, but they haven't missed a beat.
No, not at all. And I mean, chance though, there will be another matchup as Lowville will have a redemption shot and not out of it yet.
But they'll have to do it on the road.
Yeah, not out of it yet. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting too.
You know what's next for Springfield on Tuesday? South Range. Big rivalry. In the Tigers' den. In the jungle.
That'll be a fun game for them too. You know South Range is going to bring it. And Springfield wants a little bit of revenge after football season.
Yeah, after the basketball team wants revenge after last season because they went into this South Range game, and on paper and on record, it looked like they were the better team head and shoulders. I think you talk to South Range fans going into that game, they thought this was going to be a rough night. And not only did the South Range win, South Range their defense dominated that game, and they took it to the Tigers at South Range last year. The Springfield wants to redeem themselves a little bit.
Chance to do it with the home crowd behind them too, so that's going to be a great game.
It's going to be nuts. So many good South Range Springfield memories in that gym. Most notably for me, the South Range alum, off the head into the hoop, South Range to win. Got on Sports Center. Everyone remembers that one from back in, I believe, 2005. Maybe 2007, somewhere around there. Somewhere in the 05 to 10 range. I can't remember exactly. I think it was AJ Andre that threw the ball, inbounded the ball, chucking it deep. All South Range. The hope was catch the ball, shoot it, and get it into the hoop. But it went off of a Springfield player's head and into the hoop.
Incredible.
For the dub. Can you imagine if that was on YSN? How crazy someone like DJ would go, or someone like Ian O'Brien. Put Ian O'Brien on that play.
Just good scream.
He might have a vasovagal episode. Like he might lose oxygen to his brain and literally pass out.
That's it. It's over.
It's over. It's done. What, the game? Well, that too, but Ian's down. Oh man, we have fun here on Running Point. Let's continue our recaps as we go through the scores from last night. Some really big wins as East gets the 2-point victory over North. So maybe a little bit true East for this victory. 47-45, the Bears pull it off.
Yeah, they broke the compass and got the win as it points East now, and a good win for them. As, like I said, I don't count out any of them too in that SVC conference.
They're just using Jack Sparrow's compass. It never points north.
Yeah, I guess.
Brookfield, big win over Crestview, 86-61. Not only did we pick Crestview, but I don't think we could have ever imagined Brookfield dominating this way.
Brookfield was a little bit mad, I think, about all the disrespect going into this game and made a statement about it. 86 points of offense against the Crestview team that's usually pretty solid defensively.
Brookfield might break into this show and just take it over.
Yeah, honestly, congrats to the Warriors and a great win by Brookfield in dominating fashion over the Rebels.
Howland, no problems in the Battle of the H's as they have the 80-59 win over Hubbard.
Yeah, Howland looking really good in that AAC, and it's going to be fun winding down to see who comes out atop of that.
Girard gains more and more respect as the season goes on. They get the 2-point win over Warren JFK, 57-55.
And you wonder, is that game against Jefferson a fluke game, or was it just Jefferson really just is out of this world that good?
I don't see the Jefferson score. I think there might be some answers to that question.
But now looking at that, that's another good win though for Girard over a JFK team that is still very talented.
We brought this up, but let's talk a little bit more in depth about the Fitch game you were at. They lost 52-51 to McDowell, a very strong team from Erie. What was the flow of the game like? What kind of things did Fitch do really well? And what do you think the result came down to?
I mean, honestly, what they did really well after Luke Chamberlain was going off on them in that first half, they really contained him and didn't let him be the sole reason why they lost ball games. And they forced McDowell to score in other areas, and McDowell was able to answer. Guys like Curtis King was able to answer with a couple triples in that game, as well as Logman was able to get some shots to fall in as well, Isaiah Logman for them. But the thing was, Fitch was down, I think, by as much as 10 points in the fourth quarter at one point, and they were able to drive back as getting better as the game went along. Deshaun Vaughn Jr., again, with another 20-point performance and something really special, and he still has a few years of eligibility left with Fitch, and he's going to be something special as he gets older. He already taking it to the hole, shooting from anywhere, has the confidence to pull up from three anywhere. He's almost close. He's close and on the money almost every time. Shots or misses or barely misses. So his accuracy from deep is truly something impressive. And it's a Fitch team that fights. Gianni Maley is another great guard. They're using guys like Marcel Finkley too, another young freshman, I believe, that started last night. So they're getting guys exposure. It's a team that needs to learn how to win and learn how to finish games, but very impressed with a young team that's been so competitive with so many great teams that they faced this year.
If they got to break through eventually, right? I mean, it keeps
That's
coming.
what I said.
Right there.
They're eventually going to start turning those scores around. The last shot eventually is going to start falling for them because they had the last shot. Eventually, those shots are going to fall.
East Palestine gets the big win over BCC, 46-39, and Bulldogs second win of the year, and it's coming off of a winless season last year. So Coach Ray doing something right to try to turn that program around.
Nice to see a couple wins for East Palestine as, hey, it's great for that community to have some things to cheer about too with the Bulldogs representing pretty well that night, getting a win.
Heartland Christian, 67-31. They have no problems on the road with Latonia.
Yeah, they are really dynamic on offense. And Jonathan Berdovich, again, putting up just video game like box score numbers night to night, 20+ points like it's nothing, and getting another win for Heartland Christian.
The final score once again for that Springfield game was 58-54. Tigers get the win over Lowville. And here's that Jefferson score I was talking to you about, 82-55. They just stormed the gates against Lakeview.
Yeah, and I mean, 80+ points of offense is what this Jefferson team is scoring in. Real deal down there right now in Jefferson, and the Falcons are looking really strong.
And we had a very informative comment on the graphic on Facebook. It was John Castrella and Bobby Ray combined for 55 points for Jefferson last night. So those two as a tandem were almost impossible to stop for the Falcons. By the way, Bobby Ray is up for Big Dogs of the Valley. So Jefferson fans, make sure to show up, go out and vote. Voting is unlimited and ends the day after Christmas at midnight.
It'd be really cool to see a Jefferson Big Dog. I don't know if we've seen
right? I don't think we've ever seen a Jefferson Big Dog of the Valley winner.
Get out there and vote, Jefferson. Get one up there. I'd love to go and talk to one of their players too.
How about this? Jackson Milton, they get the win over McDonald, 56-52. Jackson Milton continues to have big wins at home against really good teams.
A McDonald team that just came off of a win against Waterloo too. So, I mean, a great win for Jackson Milton and Coach Procopio. Like I said, it seems like you can never count those guys out. Whenever they seem like they're down and out, they always have a response.
So that's a big win for Coach Procopio and the Blue Jays as we continue our scores. Western Reserve with the 66-42 win over Mineral Ridge.
Yeah, and I mean, credit to Mineral Ridge for keeping it close too, or keeping it respectable, as able to just get points up. As Mineral Ridge, I like to see that program starting to turn around, but good win for them, nonetheless.
One other girls' score to get to, South Range gets the 42-32 win over Edgewood in a game that was scheduled on the fly. Not a lot of time to prepare for what the other team's doing, and the Raiders still get the win by 10.
Good job for Coach Fish and the Lady Raiders to continue getting wins and starting to turn the season completely around now.
Raiders are 6-3 on the year, and they will turn around to host their holiday tournament on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 28th and 29th of December. They are only playing one game in that tournament, though. They'll play Tuesday night, and then they will just kind of play host to everyone else and show off their great facilities on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's always going to be fun, and I'm sure you're going to have a great time with it as well.
This is the I believe the third year of the tournament on YSN, and we've had a fun time every time. We're gonna have a fun time this time too. Last year, right before the holiday tournament, the Hoban came to South Range and then came back to South Range for the holiday tournament. But I remember that overtime game was one of the best games I've ever called. Hoban versus South Range last year, where both teams were just going back and forth. They both scored over 75 points. It was nuts.
Yeah, I think I remember that game too. I remember how much noise it made too around the network. And anytime you get box scores that high, or regular scores, I should say, that high, it becomes really fun. That's a lot of offense.
And it wasn't because of like terrible defense. It was just like athleticism and talent and tough shots from Lene Riley, who I'm excited to call for Hoban. And then Issy Lamparty was making tough shots left and right. It was just knockdown, drag-out game. It was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of competitive games that have been going on in the area, and we've had a lot of close finishes already, and this is not even Christmas break yet.
Nope. That'll do it for our recaps. You can find stories, stats, and more on ysnlive.com. Stay tuned for all that. And now we move on to the next segment of their show. But before we do all that, we're going to take our first break of the day and be back with more on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends: shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring. And, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the four words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Cocos Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocospizza.com. That's Cocos Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need, regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. And Ty, we do have a ton of games to pick between now and when we return next Wednesday. But before we get to that, I want to go over some news that kind of broke yesterday in the football world. Seth Antrim, the former head coach of Boardman, is now going to be the head coach of Cheney. He has decided to take the Cheney job, and Cheney has officially made that hire confirmed yesterday. So Seth Antrim, now the head coach of the Cheney Cowboys.
Yeah, going to be an interesting transition now going from AAC to SVC as seeing if they can turn the tide in Cheney and get them that winning season after some injuries and stuff held them back this year. Hopefully get healthy, and they're going to be able to spread their wings as Hewlett and them will be coming back.
And, in one of the only interviews he did, and it was with our partners over at 21 WFMJ, he said, the quote that I liked was, he said he was going to be I want to get the wording right. He's going to be able to, I'm going to go look it up. Hold on. I don't want to misquote. To expand that goal by moving into an administrative and student support role. So that's what I wanted to get at. Not only is he going to be a coach, but he's going to be an administrative and student support kind of person at Cheney to kind of guide those young men, not just with their football, skill, but also their life skills, which is something that Chris Mill did a wonderful job of. So it looks like Seth Antrim not going to take any steps back in that role that Chris Mill left.
Cheney always does a good job at putting good coaches in good places. So I have no doubt in the hiring process that the Cowboys have over there and putting the right guy there.
So now you got to be on the lookout for who's going to apply for that Boardman job, what kind of names are going to be floating around for Boardman, and we're excited to see who's going to take over that program, because it's a very it's got to be a very inviting job. I was looking for the right word. It's got to be an inviting job for someone to be looking at Boardman saying that's not a bad situation to fall into.
No, I mean, you usually have really good athletes there and a decent amount returning for the Spartans in football realm for next year. So it'll be interesting to see who takes it and if they have a different outlook on what the Spartans can be going forward.
And, I think the up trajectory that Antrim was bringing the Spartans to, I don't think it goes away with him. I think whoever goes into that spot can take them and continue to project them upwards.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Boardman's going to be just fine. I think they'll find someone, and I think that program will be just fine.
And interesting because, like, you look at Boardman's football history, they like to go internal. So maybe an assistant coach, maybe someone, a faculty at the staff, or an alumni, but they usually like to stay, internal with those hires especially for football. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll definitely keep our ears to the ground. And when it does break and we know who the next football coach at Boardman is, we'll be sure to send that message along to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could stay tuned to ysnlive.com to get any updates on our news breakage.
As always, go to ysnlive.com and stay up to date. So now we have a lot of games to pick, Ty, between now and Wednesday. I don't want to waste any time because we have Gary Alsizer coming on at 1:30 for his Wrestling Wednesdays segment. So let's start with tonight, and it is the Tony Ross tournament for girls basketball. It is Champion taking on Struthers at Howland High School. Ty, I won the night. I get to decide who goes where, and I'm looking, and I feel like I want to defer this one to you because undefeated Champion against streaking Struthers.
Yeah, I love what the Lady Wildcats are doing, but I can't go against what Champion's already done. Give me the Lady Flashes.
All right, so you're saying Champion's going to stay undefeated. I will go with you and say Champion stays undefeated as well. In that same tournament, Howland will host Maplewood after that game between Champion and Struthers. So Champion and Struthers tipping off at around 4:15, and then Howland will follow. Noah Ricks on the call for both of those games. Maplewood, Howland. I think this one's easy. I'm going to take Howland to roll.
Yeah, I'll go Howland as well.
We go back up to more girls basketball as the it just says Crusade. Oh, that's junior high. I'm sorry. Edison at Wellsville in high school. Wellsville looking for that win that would make them have the most that they've had since 2015. They couldn't get it against Lisbon. Can they get it against Edison?
I think they're gonna. I love that the Lady Tigers in Wellsville are turning the season around and starting to get some good wins under their belt. But I really like the Lady Wildcats in this one, so give me Edison.
Yeah, and the Wildcats coming off a really good win on Monday, so I'm going to take Edison as well. Wyndham will go to LeBray. This one won't be on the network, but is happening. Tip off at 6. And what do we think about Wyndham at LeBray? It's I can't remember.
I think it's
your it's go with mine.
Because I think I just picked the last one. What was the last one?
I'm going to take LeBray to win this one.
Yeah, I'll take the Vikings as well.
All right, next we have Cardinal Mooney going to East. This one not on the network, but is happening, and it is a 7 o'clock tip.
Cardinal Mooney on this one for me.
Yep, I'll take Mooney as well. No fault there for anyone. This one could be interesting. I mean, Ursula's starting to put things together, look a little bit better, and Bernard Scott getting more and more time with the Irish. But they have a tough task with undefeated Liberty coming into the end of the rainbow. Lassie. What do you think here? The Leopards, this might be one of the only games in their schedule where athleticism isn't overly, tipping the scales towards them. I mean, Ursulin's a pretty athletic team. Liberty get it done anyway?
Your first pick, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, Liberty gets it done. I don't pick against undefeated teams. So Liberty goes to 9-0 on the season. What do you think?
Spot me. Leopards.
All right. Minerva going to West Branches. The Warriors coming off that big win on Monday in Glen Oak. Now they go back to EBC play against the Lions.
Height for Mike. Give me the Warriors in this one. They outmatch Minerva.
I'll take the Warriors as well. Springfield taking their impressive season into Columbiana. This is 2 quarters of JV, so it will start around 6:15 What do you think about? Well, it's actually my first pick. I'm taking Springfield. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think the Lady Tigers have more than earned their stripes with some big games this season. And you know what? I don't count out Columbiana because every time I picked against them, they've gotten me a wrong pick. But I'm gonna go with Springfield on this one.
Let's see some more for tonight. Salem going to Carrollton, as Carrollton was a team that is a lot better than that record suggests, but they are 2-4 on the year. And we saw them almost beat West Branch 49-45. They fell in West Branch earlier this year, and it's in Carrollton. Ty, I think it's your first this time because I picked Springfield first. What do you think about Salem going to Carrollton to take on the Warriors?
Defense wins championships. It's also going to win this game. Give me the Lady Quakers.
This is a good opportunity for Salem to kind of nudge themselves in that one spot with Canfield losing. So we'll see what happens in Carrollton. We look a little bit ahead. Jefferson will go to Geneva tonight. What do you think about the Falcons' chances going on the road?
Will be interesting here in this one.
I guess.
Yeah, it's your pick.
I'll take the Falcons. I'm not going to rock against the banner for this one. Taylor Skinner and the Falcons. I'm just mulling it over.
I am, because I haven't split with you on one yet.
You're really going to do it with Geneva girls basketball?
What's wrong with that?
Tell me one thing about Geneva girls basketball. You didn't look up.
They're 5-4 on the season.
Oh,
there's your one thing.
They're world beaters. Watch out for Geneva.
Give me Jefferson.
There you go, buddy. Rock that banner. Let's go with. I think that's nope. No. We have to backtrack because I think instead of Maplewood now, I think Howland replaced Maplewood with Warren Harding. So does that change your pick for Howland against Maplewood? They're playing.
Give me Howland still.
Give me the Tigers as well. So I just wanted to remove that. Girls basketball that is canceled or postponed tonight. Louisville is not traveling to Canton Central Catholic. JFK is not traveling to St. Thomas Aquinas, and Lisbon is not traveling to Toronto. So those are some games that are not happening tonight in the girls basketball realm. Now we go to boys basketball, and it is the McDonald Blue Devils trying to bounce back after their loss to Jackson Milton, hitting the road to Niles.
I think they can bounce back. Give me Jimmy Franchiselli and the Blue Devils in this one.
Give me McDonald as well. I think they'll get the win. Now we have the Salem Holiday Classic starting at 3:30 in Salem. DJ Oakley will have the call here. It is South. I think South Range is playing at 3:30. I saw that on their Twitter, but our schedule says something else. Let me just confirm this. JV at 2 and the varsity at 3:30 against Neshannock. So at 3:30, South Range versus Neshannock at Salem.
What do you got to pick on that one, Ant? What are you throwing a pick on for that one?
Neshannock's a really tough team out of PA. South Range got their first win. I'm happy for them. I don't think they're going to beat Neshannock. I'm going to take Neshannock.
Yeah, I'll take them as well.
And then I think it's Cardinal Mooney versus Salem after that at 7.
Still rocking Lady Quakers in the defense on that.
This is boys.
All right. Oh no, yeah, you're right. It went to boys.
Boys.
It's different.
Remember, yeah, I mean Mooney's on like a 3-game losing streak. Oh, this one's tough. Glad I'm not picking.
Salem's not been playing bad either.
Oh, they lost to Canton South and Gerard, and then I don't know what they did this week. But that Gerard game was really close.
I think Mooney's trying to get back onto the power rankings though. Boys realm, I forgot about it. Yeah, boys realm, give me Mooney in this one.
All right, give me Mooney as well. Now we flip over to Thursday. A lot of games happening on Thursday the 23rd before Christmas. Girls basketball, Jackson Milton traveling to Latonia. This is a varsity only game, and it will tip at 5:30.
Your first pick?
My first pick, I'm thinking Jackson Milton to bounce back and beat Latonia.
Yeah, I'll take Jackson Milton as well.
Oh, wait, this can't be right. It says Edison at Wellsville again. Are they playing back-to-back nights? Maybe. Sure, why not? Edison, I'm just going off of our schedule right now. Edison at Wellsville, round 2.
I'll go Edison again, I guess.
All right, Edison again. So the winners of this is going to be I'm going to have you text me these picks tomorrow because the winners of the games at Howland play each other. So, like, Howland will play the winner of
Just text me the games, and yeah.
Howland will play the winner of Champion Struthers, and then the losers will play each other. So the loser of that Champion Struthers game will play the loser of the Howland Warren Harding game.
Yeah, just text me the games, and I'll pick them.
Middle Ridge at Hubbard girls basketball. The school is handling this one, and it tips off at 7.
My first pick. Yeah,
because I picked Jackson Milton first.
You
picked Edison first. Sorry, my first pick. I will take Hubbard.
Yeah, I'll take Hubbard as well.
All right, Newton Falls at Lakeview. The school will be handling this one. 7 o'clock tip off. This is still girls basketball.
Give me Lakeview in this one. I'll go Lady Bulldogs.
Should I take our first split of the day? Woo. Lakeview took one on the chin last time out. Are they starting to tail off? Or give me Lakeview as well, especially at home. All right. Next on the docket, it is Pymatuning Valley going to Brookfield. Not on the network, but is happening. 7 o'clock tip. I will take Brookfield.
Me as well. I'll take Lady Warriors.
All right. Western Reserve traveling to East Palestine. It'll be Eric Hughes on the call. 7 o'clock tip for this one. And it is your first pick.
It's unfortunate we don't have the fan voting.
I know, it was just way too many games. I would
I mean,
it'd be like 60 polls.
I understand.
Maybe if I had an assistant, I could just be like, "Hey, you, go tweet this."
Yeah, I'm gonna go though. I mean, this one I'm gonna go Western Reserve.
Yeah, Western Reserve. Yeah, it shouldn't have taken that long to think about this one.
I wasn't. Hey, I was shouting out our fan polls.
The last girls' game is going to be that one in Howland. It'll be the winners, versus the winners. So we'll see how that goes. I'll text you those picks tomorrow. Indian Valley at Beaver Local. This is now moving on to boys basketball. 6:15 tip. CJ Schroeds will have the call from Beaver Local. Remember, this is Indian Valley, not Indian Creek. So
your first pick.
It is my first pick. I am going to rock the banner and pick Beaver Local.
Yeah, sure. I'll go Beaver Local as well.
Crestview trying to bounce back against Valley Christian. 7 o'clock tip. Ian O'Brien will have the call.
Give me the Eagles and Valley Christian.
Caw. That's a crow. That's a crow. But give me Crestview. I'm going to split. This is getting boring.
Sounds good to me.
I think Crestview's a lot better than that score indicates. I think they had a bad game, but still think they're good enough to beat Valley Christian. So Howland at LeBray. Brian Oatridge will have this one, 7 o'clock tip.
Your first pick?
It is my first pick. I'm going to take the Tigers to go on the road and beat LeBray.
Going Howland as well.
Lake Center Christian will go to Waterloo, 7 o'clock tip. Aaron Moser with the call.
Waterloo.
Yeah, I'll take Waterloo as well. Lisbon travels to Heartland Christian. Mark Frank with the call, 7 o'clock tip.
Your pick?
My pick, Heartland Christian.
I'll go Heartland Christian as well.
Poland at Canfield. This is Richie Giuliano with the call. 7 o'clock tip.
At Canfield, give me Canfield.
Give me Canfield as well. Western Reserve at Campbell Memorial. You'll have this one, and it is a 7 o'clock tip.
Yeah, I'm going to go Campbell Memorial at home.
So the other two games for boys basketball are going to be the winners and losers of tonight's games in Salem. So once again, I will get you those picks after the results come in tonight. And we go on to next week after Christmas. Fast forward, we all had our holiday. We got our nice presents. We got food. We got some ham. And it comes back to Sunday, December 26th at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. It is Jackson Milton and Latonia at 2 o'clock.
Your first pick, right? Or mine?
CJ Schroeds and DJ Oakley.
Or no, it's mine because you had the last one. Because I picked
yours.
I will go Jackson Milton.
I'll take Jackson Milton as well. We go to Monday the 27th, and this is girls basketball. And we'll start with East Liverpool going to Crestview. 5:30 tip for this one. It's my first pick. I am going to take East Liverpool.
East Liverpool. Ooh. Give me Crestview.
Split. All right. Gerard going to McDonald. Ian O'Brien will have the call. 5:30 tip. And this is a part of a boys-girls doubleheader. So girls first, boys second. Gerard and the Blue Devils. What do you got?
I'm going to go Gerard on the girls' side. They've looked really impressive, I think.
I know, but I don't know if Triplet will be back or not.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Hold on.
No. You already picked. You did it.
We still have that. We still have that other period then,
You
too.
didn't take the time. You didn't take the time. I'm not giving you that one back either. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just kept going and just picked McDonald. I'm mad at myself for helping you a whole lot. Just such a nice guy.
I might still keep it. We'll see.
I'll take McDonald. I think they looked really good. They'll build off of it. They'll get the win. Maplewood going to Struthers. This is going to be Bob Zanny on the call. 6:45 tip on Monday.
Your first pick?
My first pick, I'm going to pick Struthers to get the win.
I'll go Struthers as well.
Boardman at Poland, 7 o'clock tip. I'll be there in the field house the Poland field house, I should say. 2 field houses in action on Monday night. So Boardman at Poland.
Give me Poland.
Give me Poland as well. East at Liberty, 7 o'clock tip.
Your first pick?
My first pick. It's all Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty as well.
East Palestine at Springfield, 7 o'clock tip. I'm going to take Spring. Well, actually, it's your first pick now. Sorry.
Yeah, I got Springfield, though.
It's Tigers. Yeah, it's the Tigers. Lowville at Heartland Christian. Mark Franken on the call. 7 o'clock tip. Your first pick. My first pick. I can't remember.
Mine. Give me. No. It is
yours. Mine. Liberty was mine. So I will take Lowville.
Heartland's just it's hard for me to get a read on Heartland because this is a winnable game, very winnable game for the Lady Lions. Give me Heartland at home.
Middle Ridge at LeBray. Brian Oatridge on the call, 7 o'clock tip.
I got LeBray.
Give me LeBray as well. Rootstown traveling to Western Reserve. Aaron Moser on the call, 7 o'clock tip.
Your first pick?
I'm going to take Rootstown to go on the road and get this win there. I think they're leading the PAC right now.
Yeah, they're doing really good. I'm going Rootstown as well.
Ursuline and Austintown Fitch. You will have this call. And 7 o'clock tip.
Lady Falcons have been putting it together. They're going to continue it, I think. Give me the Fitch.
I'd really like to see how Ursuline looks against Liberty before I make this pick, but can't do it. So I will take Austintown Fitch. Boys basketball, you're going to have Gerard at McDonald as part of that boys girls doubleheader.
Your pick?
And I will take Girard to go and win in McDonald.
I'll take Girard as well.
Lisbon at Jackson Milton. Rick Daly should have the call here. 7 o'clock tip, boys basketball on Monday. Playing back to back.
Give me Lisbon in this one. Boys side, Lisbon.
Jackson Milton at home, different animal. They've won 2 games against really good teams at home. I think they'll be able to rest their starters enough against Latonia to not have fatigue, and they'll be fine. So we move to Tuesday. It's girls basketball. It's the Holiday Classic at South Range, and we start at 3 o'clock with Nordonia versus Howland.
Your pick?
My pick, Nordonia Howland. I'm going to take the Tigers.
I'll go Howland as well.
4:30 after that one, Garfield versus Fort Fry at South Range. Your first pick.
Yeah. Hold on. Because if this is the same team that I'm thinking about, if they're located in the same spot. Okay. Beverly, Ohio, correct? The Beverly, Ohio Fort Fry?
Yeah, it's like the Fort Fry that
they're cadets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one I'm thinking of? The right one?
Yeah, it's the one that Springfield played in the state semifinals 2 years ago.
Nah, give me Garfield.
So this is a little bit of a change to the schedule from South Range. You just got this on Twitter yesterday. 3 o'clock, we're going to actually rewind and repick these games because I think Talmadge backed out. So we've kind of rearranged things. Garfield's still playing Fort Fry, so that game we don't have to repick. But Nordonia is going to play Mooney now at 3 o'clock.
And that was your pick.
And that was my pick. I will pick Nordonia to beat Cardinal Mooney.
Yeah, I will as well.
And now we go to 6 o'clock, Hoban versus Marlington. Not a YSN school, not a YSN game, but we'll have the coverage, so we might as well make the pick. It's Hoban, right? I mean,
I'm picking Hoban. I'm not picking anything other than that.
No, it's the Marlington's undefeated. Oh, that's gonna be good.
It's going to be good, but I think Hoban's just a different animal.
You know, they might win the D1 state championship. It's very likely. And then at 7:30, South Range versus Howland now. Your first pick. South Range lost by 1 to Poland. And early losses to Salem and both teams have lost to Salem, by the way. That's the only common opponent so far.
Yeah, Howland's played a tough schedule, too. Howland's ranked, if I'm not mistaken. Give me the Lady Tigers. Give me Howland.
I'm gonna split with you. I can't not take South Range when I'm going into their holiday.
Yeah, well, yeah,
it's their tournament. It's their tournament. You know, Coach Fish is gonna be like the well-dressed, best dressed coach on the block. They're gonna be feeling it. They're gonna have games there all day. Give me South Range to get the win.
Your next pick.
Okay, now we go to. Let's just finish this tournament since I have the schedule up on my phone, and then we'll go back to the rest of the games on Tuesday. On a Wednesday, 2 o'clock, not going to be a YSN team. We'll be on the net. We'll be coverage, though. Fort Fry versus Marlington.
Give me Marlington.
I'll take Marlington as well. 3:30, Howland versus Hoban.
Your pick.
I don't mean to it's Hoban.
Yes,
it's
Hoban.
Geez. 5 o'clock Garfield 6:30. I'm sorry. 6:30 Garfield versus Nordonia to close out Wednesday.
Nordonia.
Okay. I'm gonna take Nordonia as well. So that is the Holiday Classic. There are 8 teams participating, It is South Range, Hoban, Nordonia, Marlington, Garfield, Howland, Fort Fry, and Cardinal Mooney. We'll all be there on Tuesday and Wednesday for that tournament. Now we go to another tournament happening. It is in Brookfield, Columbiana versus Berkshire at 5:30 as part of the Brookfield Holiday Tournament. Clippers versus Berkshire.
Your first pick.
It's my first pick. And I don't know enough about Berkshire to pick them, so I'm going to pick Columbiana.
Yeah, I'll go Columbiana with you.
7 o'clock, John Marshall versus Brookfield. John Marshall. I got to imagine that these got to be at least quality teams. I don't think Brookfield would bring in scrubs to play in their holiday.
Just bring in some terrible opponents.
So, I mean, I'm weary, but I've never even heard of John Marshall, to be completely honest. I'm going to look this up. I want some clarity. John Marshall from Cleveland, Ohio, making the trip to Brookfield. They better be good if they're making that kind of trip. They have no record on Max Preps. That's real helpful. And Brookfield's not even on their schedule.
Something tells me just go John Marshall, so I'm going to go John Marshall. That's my first pick. I'm going John Marshall.
You're picking the John Marshall Lawyers. I kid you not. Their nickname are the Lawyers. I can't pick the Lawyers. No. Brookfield, rocking the banner. The Lawyers. Okay. Compose myself. John Marshall Lawyers coming to town. And now we move on to boys basketball on Tuesday. Back to a little bit of normalcy as we have these teams that we're really familiar with. Newton Falls will go to Brookfield at 12 o'clock on Tuesday.
Your first pick.
It's hard to look past that score last night for Brookfield. Give me Brookfield to win. Especially with a week off. I don't believe they play between.
Yeah, give me Brookfield as well.
Next, we have Beaver Local going to Crestview at 6:30.
I'll go
Tuesday.
Beaver Local.
I'll take this is boys. Beaver Local lost to Columbiana. Give me Crestview. Give me Crestview. Hubbard at Canfield, 6 o'clock tip.
Your pick.
I'll take Canfield.
Yeah, I'll go Canfield as well.
Badger at Champion, 7 o'clock tip.
Give me Badger.
Give me Champion. Oh, no, this is boys. Sorry. Give me Badger. I got confused, too. Canton Central Catholic at Cardinal Mooney. And this is my first pick. I'll take Mooney to get this win.
Yeah, I'll take Mooney as well.
7 o'clock tip. Glen Oak at Austintown Fitch. You'll have the call.
Yeah, I will.
And it is your first pick.
I'm going to go with... Let me go Fitch.
I'll go Fitch as well. LeBray at Lakeview. The school will be taking care of this. 7 o'clock tip. I will take LeBray.
I'll go LeBray as well.
Niles at Mineral Ridge. 7 o'clock tip.
Give me Niles.
Give me Niles as well. Poland at Boardman. 7 o'clock tip. And I will take Boardman.
Yeah, I'll go Boardman as well.
Rootstown at Waterloo. 7 o'clock tip.
At Waterloo.
Waterloo.
Give me Waterloo.
Give me the Vikings as well. Big one in the EBC. Salem at West Branch. 7 o'clock tip.
Your pick.
My pick. I will take West Branch.
Me as well.
South Range at Springfield. Anthony Romo, Richie Giuliano already confirmed for this one. 7 o'clock tip.
Springfield for me.
Give me Springfield as well. Ursuline at Liberty.
Your pick.
7 o'clock tip. It's my pick. Give me the Irish.
Same here.
All right. We go to the Wednesday games that are not a part of that South Range tournament. Girls basketball. Firestone at East. 2:30 tip. Ian O'Brien will be there.
Give me East.
Yeah, I'll take East as well. Camel at Sebring, round 2. Camel won 51-50 in Camel last time. 6 o'clock tip.
Does Sebring get their revenge? I think so. Give me Sebring.
I'll split. Give me Camel. I'll give them both some love. St. John Central at Wellsville. Is this where the Tigers get their 4th win of the season? I say yes. Go Tigers.
Sure, I'll go with you.
Absolutely. Canfield at Salem. This should be a good one. 7 o'clock on Wednesday.
Give me Salem.
You know what? I've been riding this train all year. And when people have been asking me, do you think, because I've been putting Canfield as number 1, and do you think Salem will beat Canfield? I kept saying no. Saw last night. I turned the ball over.
If Poland can lock them down defensively,
but they didn't. They just turned them over. Like
yeah,
you just
turn that amp up to 11, and now you have Salem.
And Poland still held them to. So Poland still got them. They got 50 on Poland. If they get 50, I don't know if Salem can score 50 on Canfield. I'm gonna take Canfield. I'm gonna split because I have to back myself up because all year I've been saying I'm keeping Canfield above because I think Canfield would beat Salem, and I'm not gonna go off that train.
See how wrong you could be.
All right, we'll see, and that could be a power rankings reshape. You know, Canfield might drop off number 1, Salem might be number 1 at that point, and then they could just flip again. Who knows?
Your first pick in the next one.
Uniontown Lake at Boardman, 7 o'clock tip. You know what? I'll throw Boardman a bone. I think if the Spartans can get a win at home.
Sure, give me Boardman.
Latonia at Crestview, 7 o'clock tip.
Rebels.
I'll take the Rebels as well. Median Buckeye. This one can't be happening because I think Cardinal Mooney is playing. Let me go just double check the South Range schedule. I don't think they're playing on Wednesday.
Median Buckeye.
Mooney is not playing on Wednesday. They're just playing on Tuesday at South Range. So, yes, this one is happening. Median Buckeye at Cardinal Mooney, 7 o'clock tip.
Your first pick.
I'll take Cardinal Mooney because who the heck is Median Buckeye?
I love the name, but I'll go Cardinal Mooney.
Middle Ridge at Niles, girls basketball. Dom O'Brien will have the call, 7 o'clock.
Give me the Ridge and the Lady Rams.
Yeah, I'll take Ridge too. Struthers at Ursuline, 7 o'clock tip. Steve Leslie will have the call.
Your first pick.
My first pick. I will take Struthers.
Yeah, I'm going Struthers as well. I think they've looked pretty good.
Twinsburg at Austintown Fitch. You'll have this call, 7 o'clock. This is once again girls basketball.
Lady Falcons all the way, baby.
Once you know, I'll text you and get these picks because the winners of the Brookfield tournament will play each other. On Wednesday.
What was your pick on Twinsburg Fitch, Anthony?
Oh, you're right. Let me look up Twinsburg real quick.
He needs more information on this one. To fly with the Falcons. Disrespectful.
I do.
Disrespectful. You're going to take one look at Max Preps and feel how disrespectful.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Everyone in Austin Town is by that right now, Anthony.
Fitch. All Fitch. 0-7 Twinsburg. No, I don't think so. Who's playing in the Heartland New Year tournament? All we have is the fact that it's happening. I don't know. If we find out later, we'll make picks. Right now, our schedule just says the Heartland New Year tournament. So I don't know.
Now we can patiently await for Gary Allsizer to do our Wrestling Wednesdays and give us a holiday send-off.
Let's take a break, and then we'll be back with Wrestling Wednesdays with Gary Allsizer after this. On Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Find my mouse.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air,
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
online,
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
on social media, and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Jimmy Sutton here, director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats, because there's people in those numbers. and I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience, WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit wrswealth.com. Good luck, athletes.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. And I didn't even count. We picked a lot of games, basically a week worth of games. And we're trying to take a breath after that.
Yeah, that was a lot of games.
That's a lot of games.
A lot of games.
Like I think you were gassed by the end of it. I think I was like, let's just go through and at least recap the ones for tonight and make sure we're on the same page, and then we can just text each other to make sure, in days over break that we're on the same page. So for today, Champion versus Struthers at Howland, we're both taking Champion.
Yep.
All right. Edison at Wellsville, we're both taking Edison.
Yep.
Wyndham at LeBray, we're both taking LeBray.
Yep.
Maplewood versus Howland, we're both taking Howland.
Yep. Tigers.
Mooney at East, we're both taking Mooney.
Yep. Lady Cardinals.
Liberty at Urson, we're both taking Liberty.
Leopards.
Minerva at West Branch, we're both taking West Branch.
Lady Warriors, yes, sir.
Springfield at Columbiana, we're both taking the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers all the way.
Salem at Carrollton, we're both taking Salem.
Quaker defense.
Let's see, there was one more. Jefferson at Geneva, we're both taking Jefferson.
How can you not?
All right. So, actually, it's Warren Harding versus Howland.
Yeah.
Not Maplewood. But, and then boys, McDonald versus Niles. We're both taking McDonald.
Yep.
Mooney versus Salem at the Salem Holiday Classic. Both taking Mooney.
Yep.
And South Range versus Neshannock. We're both taking Neshannock.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So those are the games tonight. It all kicks off in about 2 hours with South Range and Neshannock at Salem. And then DJ Oakley will be there with that call. And then after that, it will be Salem and Mooney. Winners will play each other tomorrow.
A lot of basketball going on around Christmas, so it'll be fun.
Christmas, don't be late. In my chipmunk voice. Alvin. Okay. We're waiting on Gary Line. I'm gonna head out.
Gary Alsizer, I'm so sorry.
Every time. I'm gonna say it right when we intro him though. Gary Alsizer, Wrestling Wednesdays. It's here. As he has popped into the booth, and let me remove our names from this background real quick so it doesn't look weird when he pops in. Gary,
what's up, guys?
How we doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Sorry for the delay today. Just life gets busy around Christmas time.
Oh, you're not kidding. Hey, as long as you're here at some point between 12 and 2, we're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more wrestling as some more results coming in, and I think it's fair to say we're in the full swing of the season now, huh?
Yeah, definitely. It's getting to be the end of the year. At Christmas, the kids get 2 extra pounds. The state allows every weight class moves up 2 pounds after you've made scratch weight, which is the actual weight of the weight class. Once you make that after Christmas, you get 2 pounds. So the kids are excited about that. And it's always I don't know what you want to call it, but kind of a point in the season that, let's get to Christmas. And then after Christmas, we have this. And then you have maybe your league championships, your conference championships, and then you go right into the postseason. So this is kind of the first pillar, I guess you could call it, of the season right now as we're heading into this weekend. So, the December tournaments are wrapping up. They'll have one more set coming this weekend, but there aren't that many. As I look through on the schedules, I didn't see really that many local ones over the Christmas break. So really, this past weekend was the big one for local teams.
It's funny you mentioned that pillar, and I just kind of wanted to follow up question with that because we've talked with so many basketball coaches and area coaches about it, and kind of figured out there's kind of 3 parts of the season. There's the before and after Christmas break. I gotta figure too with wrestling, it's got to be the same thing. I mean, Christmas weighs on all these kids' minds at some point, the being off for an extended period of time. But what is, from a coaching perspective, what is the talks kind of like with them to keep them focused? Because we know holidays, there's a lot of food that comes into play around this time as well.
Yeah, it's something that every coach goes through. You just got to keep your guys focused. You got to keep their minds right because there's so many distractions right now. You got family, you got friends, you got gifts coming in, gifts you're giving, time with family, and time off of school. So we just keep them focused at practice. We're always looking towards what we're doing next. So the kids probably get tired of hearing me say, you have to do this, you have to do that, or, watch this, watch that. But that's just how you keep them on task is just continually to be in their heads about what we got coming up and the circumstances that are coming. Because I know as a kid when Christmas break came and I was home, if I wasn't doing anything, I was probably not outside running extra, miles to keep in shape, and I wasn't keep myself out of the kitchen, and they're no different than I was. But my kids have done a good job with their weight this year, so we don't really have that problem now, but I still have to keep them on task.
One of the big things we talked about last week and the big events that was happening over the weekend was the D3 tournament at Waterloo. You guys were there. A lot of other teams were there. Talk about the big winners of that match and what you saw from it and some of the big takeaways from the weekend at Waterloo.
Well, South Range won the team title going away. They scored, I have the results right here, 213.5 points. The second place team was Rootstown, a really, really great Division III program at 131.5. So you're talking about, like 84-point difference there from first to second place. They had 3 champions and I don't know how many placers, probably around 10 placers. So they really ran away with it. They looked like everything I thought they were going to look like this season. Their kids are all in midseason form, no holes in that lineup from 106 to heavyweight. And they really came in and showed who they were this weekend with other Division III schools. And I tell you what, having them in this local area, seeing them all the time like we do, we know we're going to be tested every time they're around. We're going to be tested at every weight class. And really, it's good to have a team like that, a small school team like that in the local area, because most of the time the smaller schools that are really good are either surrounded by big cities or their private school. So to have a public school that's kind of where it is location-wise to be that good, it's good for the area, it's good for the competition.
Looking ahead at future competitions and either during and after the holidays, what are some big tournaments or some big meets that wrestling fans can look ahead to, and maybe some casual fans who want to get into it? What are some upcoming ones that they can look forward to in the next coming weeks?
Well, for us personally, we have a couple of big ones coming up. Our first one will be mid-January. Here in about 3 weeks, we're going to the OVAC tournament, the Ohio Valley Athletic Conference. I believe there are 42 teams in the conference that wrestle there. It's in Wheeling, West Virginia. It's a 3-day event, and it's held at the Wheeling West Banco Arena, where their minor league hockey team plays. They also have, like dirt bike events, off-road events in that place. It holds about 5,000 people, I would guess. So we'll be there in mid-January at that tournament. And on January 8th, Jackson Milton has their home tournament. That's a pretty good small school tournament that they have at the first weekend of January every year. And then the last weekend of January is the EOWL tournament, which a lot of people call one of, if not the best wrestling league tournament in the state. A couple of years ago, there were, I believe, 3 state champions and like 5 or 6 state finalists that came from the EOWL. And that's all local, Northeast Ohio, Columbiana, Mahoning, Trumbull, Ashtabula County, in that area, Team Stark as well. So those are the ones really that pop off in my head right off the start when I think about the local teams and what they'll be wrestling with in the next 3 weeks or a month.
Let's talk about some of your kids. Tyler Stanley and Mason Sims, both placing 4th in the Waterloo this weekend. Talk about what they were able to do in Waterloo.
Tyler Stanley is a heavyweight, so he's got a pretty interesting story. He wrestled his whole life up through 7th grade, and then in 8th grade, he decided to go out for basketball, and he didn't come back out. He didn't play basketball again, and he didn't come back out for wrestling until last year, his junior year. And he came back. He's a really big kid. He's 6'6". He's a full 285, and we saw a lot of flashes of real potential in him last year. He just didn't have his hips under him, and in wrestling, if you don't have good hips, then which means basically a center of gravity or knowing where to put your body and what kind of positions to put them in and to not put them in. And he was still trying to work that out because he had taken a lot of time off. So last year, I think he was kind of doing that. He had a winning record. He went to districts and, he was able to win a match there and come close in another one. He was really right there with all the other heavyweights. It was just the mat time that he did not have. Excuse my cat here. Sorry about that. So this weekend was, we were hoping that would come true. And really, after his first match of the weekend, we could just tell that his hips had started to get under him. He was starting to feel out things. He lost 2-1 to the number 8 kid in the state in the final 6 seconds of the match. So he was winning 1-0 over this kid who was predicted to place. And he just gave up a takedown right at the end of the match, or he may have placed higher. And then he, in the consolation semis, he was able to beat another state-ranked kid to get to the finals for 3rd and 4th. So he did a great job. We're really excited to see what he did and to see what he does the rest of the season. Mason Sims, he's a hammer at 106 pounds. He is a very physical kid for that weight, and he did exactly what we expected him to do, to be in the top 4. He wrestled great that weekend, and really, we were, as a team, we unfortunately had to take 2 weeks off after the first week of practice because of COVID protocol. So we practiced 4 or 5 days, had 2 weeks off, and then we practiced 4 or 5 more days, and then went into that tournament. And we just physically, we weren't ready because of our gas tank. We just, a lot of the kids were not where they should have been as far as, being in shape goes, but it wasn't their fault. They still wrestled good. We left a couple of wins on the mat, close ones. And I think that, really, it was like starting over and then only having a few days of practice before you're heading to a meat grinder of a 2-day tournament. So I feel like that we're going to progress to get better as the season goes on. But I'm super proud of those guys for placing. And then the rest of everybody on the team won at least 1 or 2 matches. And the guys that I had that were in the silver bracket on the second day, I think all but one of them placed. So we had a good weekend overall, but I feel like that we're nowhere near our peak yet.
Yeah, and looking at the podiums of those two those two kids. United finished first in the heavyweight, looks like, and third in Mason's weight class. I mean, you're going to see them a lot this season in the EOAC. Talk about their program a little bit and what that matchup's going to be like when you get to square off with United.
You know, United's a great story. Kenny Beaumaire's the head coach there. He's done a really amazing job. That's a brand new program. I'm not sure how many. I think it's only been 5 years maybe as a full team. Now they've had kids in the past who have wrestled, or they'd have one or two kids who maybe wrestled when they were younger and then decided to continue on. But as a team, Kenny and his staff have done a great job. He is as far as I know, the freshman math teacher there at United. So he gets to have every ninth grader in that school district see him every day in class. And he's done a great job recruiting. They fill a full team, which we talked about last time, how difficult that is. He fills a full team plus. And he's had some really nice athletes that come out for the team. That Dallas McCracken who won the heavyweight weight class, he's a real big kid. And Kenny said he's really done a good job of progressing this year. They got some coaches in there to work with him specifically. He's done a great job there. And he's got, other kids throughout the weight classes that do well. There's a 644 pounders named Jensen Baker. That kid's got some of the best natural hips I've ever seen. I think he's only wrestled 2 or 3 years, but he just knows where to put his body and when to put his body in certain positions. So he's done great for them. Kenny's done a really good job. We don't fill all the weight classes, unfortunately. So when we wrestle those guys, we're going to be behind the 8 ball because my kids are bunched up at certain weights and I can't fill every single weight class. So when we wrestle, we're going to have to win. And it's always fun to wrestle those guys because they're all just really personable people and they're great for the sport.
Beaver Local finished second in the Everett Hopel tournament, and Logan Hours was named the most valuable wrestler with 5 falls, and he won the 165-pound championship. I mean, I think we can ooze over Logan Hours' ability to wrestle every week until we're blue in the face. But Beaver Local also had Emmerling was a champ in the 144-pound division, a couple of second-place finishers as well, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 placers. Yes. So, I mean, Beaver Local Wrestling does an amazing program.
Yeah, they placed at every weight class. They got a nice team. They have a nice team every year. It's no surprise that Logan was the MVP. He pinned everybody that he wrestled. He's just at that kind of level. So these local tournaments, that's what you're going to see out of him. He's really going to be he's going to be the talk of the tournament or the match, and rightfully so. Mark Emmerling Jr., his dad was actually my coach in high school. His dad is from East Liverpool, and he came and taught at Wellsville and was a coach here with us for a year or two. And he was a state placer last year, I believe. He's going to do good things this year. And they fill every weight class and then some. And every kid there scores points for them. I know that I believe their 150-pounder, his name's Trent Ewing. I think he just cracked the lineup this year, and he was able to get to the final. So they have nice surprises like that in their lineup. So they're definitely, it's just the same old with Beaver Local. They're a great program, and every year they're good. And I believe Austintown Fitch won that tournament 266.5 to 251.5. So it was relatively close with Fitch placing first, Beaver second. Salem came in third, actually. Really good showing by Salem there. Marlington sixth, Alliance seventh. So and Girard also competed in the tournament. So yeah, it's the same old for Beaver Local.
And one more result I want to talk about before we get on to the rest of the wrestling segment. Gavin Podich with his 100th career win for South Range. Talk about what it means to get 100 wins in a career, how rare it is, and what kind of accomplishment that is.
Yeah, we watched Gavin wrestle his whole high school career. He's a tough kid that wrestles in that lineup and scores a lot of points for that team. And he's, he's in the practice room with great kids around him at all the weight classes, right around the 120 from 106 on up to 132. He's probably in the room wrestling with those guys. And so yeah, he's got his 100th win the beginning of his senior year. So that means he's averaged about 30 wins a year, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. That's not easy to do at all. So first off, you have to be able to wrestle all 4 years in the varsity lineup. You have to be able to start all 4 years. And then you have to be able to average at 25 matches a year that you win, and you have to stay healthy to do that. So it's definitely an accomplishment. And you see some kids who, no matter what they, how hard they try or they just, or what they're doing, they just couldn't get to that 100 wins because of all the factors I talked about. So it's definitely an accomplishment. I have 2 on my team this year that we are hoping and expecting to get to 100 wins, and Mason Sims and Jake McNamara. It's a really great accomplishment. I guess it might be equivalent to 1,000-point scorer in basketball or in football. I guess for a career, you'd probably be looking at like a 2,500 yards rushing or 3,000 yards rushing, something like that. Or maybe 4,000. I don't know what to compare it to in football, but basketball, I'd say it'd be similar to 1,000 points.
Looking at it too, Gary, I just wanted to talk again about the Christmas break. We know how much wrestling is a mental sport as much as it is physical too. So this is usually a time too where you get a little bit of a break mentally, or the schoolwork kind of lightens up. Using this as using the practices, is this kind of a good point too, whether you're doing good or struggling in a season, a good point to kind of get yourself back on track or work on some things? I would sure think that after the Christmas break they come back a lot mentally sharper.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it does. It does kind of refresh you. The kids, they get a break from school, or they get to kind of sleep. They get all the sleep that they want, which I know that they all enjoy. And then we get to work on things. So for us now, we're done until January 4th. So we've got the next couple of weeks to work on things that we saw at this D3 Classic, and get into the shape that we should have been in for this weekend, but because of the circumstances, we weren't able to. And it is a good time to kind of get ready for this, what we consider this next pillar, this next section of the season that really starts to turn into a real meat grinder for us, because we start on the 4th with a duel, and then from then on out, we've got a tournament almost every weekend and 1, if not 2 duels every week. So we're going to be really on the mat a lot this next month. So we need these next 2 weeks to get right mentally and physically.
We talk about the kids getting right during Christmas break and getting ready for that meat grinder, but coaches have to too. I mean, this is the last kind of breath of fresh air you get before that meat grinder of the season starts to get. So how much do you guys as coaches kind of take this next couple of days and really try to soak it in and then go when January hits?
Yeah, we try to really focus on getting ready, I guess. So for us, it's more, instead of my time and my brain space being focused on what we're doing next, whether it's a duel or a tournament, thinking about who would be wrestling, what we'll be doing, how we match up. Do I move guys around? I can just focus 100% and in the room, and Coach Sarge, my assistant coach, we just focus on what we saw over the weekend, what we need to work on, and then really, really hammering that, getting the one-on-one time with the kids to get them ready. So that's really where all of our energy is going. And it's nice to be able to just to focus on that and not a million other things that I have to focus on whenever we wrestle, paperwork and phone calls and questions and a million other things. So it's nice. This time's definitely good.
And just looking at that and going through the future of the season, I mean, we know it's going to become a gauntlet once the holidays are over. But what is just kind of the message, I guess, to anybody going into these holidays? As far as just, we know you want to come back keeping your mind sharp too, but you also want to have that fine line of, you want them to enjoy this, but you want them to also be getting ready for wrestling. So where do you kind of walk with that fine line and make sure that they're doing a little bit of both?
For me, I just have to always remember they're kids, and at every level of sports, in my opinion, the looser you are, the better you perform. So just trying to keep them loose and having fun, but at the same time, keeping their minds on task. It's just what we have to do. We just have to be in the room around them and keeping them focused, reminding them what's going on, what we have coming up, what they need to work on, but at the same time, letting them be kids and have fun. It's such a hard sport. It's such a grind that making sure that fun is a part of practice and a part of the matches is something that we try really hard to do.
Gary, thank you so much for the time this week. We always look forward to this Wrestling Wednesday segment every week, and we'll catch up with you again next week after Christmas. And Ty will
we get
on the horn.
Gary's favorite Christmas song. We've asked.
We do, because we
need to get Gary's favorite Christmas song before he gets out of here.
Yeah, Gary, what is your favorite Christmas song before the holiday?
I'd say Christmas in Hollis. That's
right.
probably my favorite one. I love the skateboard, the Santa skateboarding in the video. So that's if there's one that I could think of, that's the one that's my favorite.
I know what you're talking about too. So I love the wide variety we get with him too.
Nothing better than a rap Christmas song.
Absolutely. Ty will be hitting you up next week for the Wrestling Wednesday. He'll be the host. I will be at South Range for the basketball tournament, but we'll definitely talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Have a good Christmas.
You as well.
Wrestling Wednesdays with Gary, always good. And we have really good results to talk about this week as well.
Yeah, as I can't wait as the season starts getting more into the thick of it. We're gonna have a lot of results to talk about with Gary, so I'm gonna love it as we get further into the season.
Let's take one more break. We'll come back and wrap this show up and get you ready for the holidays. We'll be right back on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Cocos Pizza, proud to announce our pizza buffet's back every Wednesday at our Boardman and Campfield locations. Adults only $7.99 and kids only $4.99, and $2 beers starting at 8 o'clock. That's Cocos Pizza. We serve it hot.
Every customer has a story, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
All right, welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. And Ty, we're gearing up for our week break as we hit up for the holidays. Want to remind everybody that the Casual Sports Podcast is coming up next from 2 to 3. I am actually not entirely sure if there's going to be a power hour because I know DJ is doing a game at Salem at 3:30. If I had to guess, I would weigh on the side of not power hour this day.
Yeah, but we will carry you through all back on Wednesday. So 1 week break from today, I shall be back, and it shall be a special. We'll wait on it. It'll be a surprise guest co-host with me for next Wednesday. But I promise you're not going to want to miss it.
9 games on the network tonight. Starting at 3:30 in Salem as South Range takes on Neshannock. And then you got one at 4:15, you got one at 6:30, a couple at 6, and then a handful at 7 as well. So got you covered all night and all day for basketball. More games tomorrow. take your Christmas break. More games Monday, more games Tuesday. And then, Ty, you will be back with your special guest host on Wednesday. And then we both will be back on Thursday. So let's see. That is that is a
is it a full week? 7 days? 7 days. A week is 168 hours.
It's 8 24 hours, right? Because I'm not coming back till Thursday. You're coming back on Wednesday.
Yeah. So for you, it's 190 hours, I think.
Running Point is taking a 166-hour break. And
Anthony's taking 190. What's your favorite Christmas song before we get out of here, Ant?
It is Where Are You Christmas?
I got Carol of the Bells by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I love it.
You pick one that people can't ask you to sing.
Yeah. You don't need this thing to make it a good song.
You know what, though, Ty? Time out, because that song is not called Carol of the Bells. They sample Carol of the Bells, but the song by Trans-Siberian Orchestra is called Sarajevo. So you don't even know the name of your favorite song.
Don't even know my favorite song.
Yeah.
I like a lot of Trans-Siberian Orchestra, though. Wizards in Winter I like a lot, too.
So you know the name of that one, but you don't know Sarajevo.
Well, no, I don't. No.
Feliz Navidad.
Have a Merry Christmas to all of you from us here at YSN and from us too here on Running Point. We'll be back with you on all coverage of local sports just a week from today. And have a good and fun and joyful Merry Christmas.